Here's a game you should try. Frog Detective: The Haunted Island. Developed by Grace Bruxner and Thomas Boker, travel to a remote island that has had mysterious ghost sounds terrorizing the citizen. Gather clues and question those on the island to try to figure out what's causing the noise. Will you solve the case? I give it an 8 out of 10. I Expect You to Die. Developed by Shell Games, become a super spy heading out to defeat the evil organization Zeraxis. Use your telekinesis abilities and quick wit to solve the challenges laid before you. Will you make it out alive? I give it an 8 out of 10. Rusty Lake Paradise. Developed by Rusty Lake, return to your family's island after the recent death of your mother. Experience a different plague each day as you try to gather all the lost memories. Will you learn what really happened on that island? I give it an 8 out of 10. Mini Motorways. Developed by Dinosaur Polo Club, create a bustling city by organizing the flow of traffic for all the different cars. Get different helpful upgrades to help you advance your infrastructure. How long will you last? I give it an 8 out of 10. Hyperlight Drifter. Developed by Heart Machine, play as a dying drifter in a dying world, trying to unlock the cure to your disease. Explore the lands, finding keys and fighting creatures to try to learn the truth of the world. Will you find what's hidden beneath? I give it an 8 out of 10. Chair Simulator. Developed by Mischief Product Studios Inc., choose your character and start your chair sitting adventure. Sit on chairs to get sitting points to be able to get even more chairs to grow your collection. Will you sit yourself to death? I give it an 8 out of 10. Void Bastards. Developed by Blue Manchu, play as a recently rehydrated prisoner traveling through space to find loot and supplies. Use a variety of weapons and tools to deal with the inhabitants of these ships. Will you make it out in one piece? I give it an 8 out of 10. Gatto Roboto. Developed by Doinksoft, play as Kiki, a cat whose owner crash landed on a mysterious planet and needs your help to save him. Explore the research facility in both the mech suit and without, gathering upgrades and finding new paths. Will you find a way out? I give it an 8 out of 10. Bastion. Developed by Supergiant Games, play as a boy whose home and everyone he knows has just been destroyed by a terrible calamity. Escape to the Bastion, fighting monsters and finding tools to create some semblance of safety. Will you learn what caused all this to happen? I give it an 8 out of 10. Sentenced VR. Developed by Samuel Gordon, become an executioner, tasked to bring justice to those who have wronged the crown. Prepare your sword, listen to the crimes, and perform the execution for all to see. Will you follow orders or forge your own path? I give it an 8 out of 10. Thomas Was Alone. Developed by Bithell Games, play as a ragtag group of AI as they try to make their way through many different trials. Use each block's unique ability to get everyone to the finish line. Will you make it up and to the right? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Room 2. Developed by Fireproof Games, find yourself trapped in a mysterious crypt with strange puzzles and guiding notes. Use your wit and magical tools to help you escape this haunting place. Will you make it out alive? I give it an 8 out of 10. Enter the Gungeon. Developed by Dodgerel, play as an adventurer who sets out into the monster-infested crypt in search of the time gun. Collect different abilities and weapons to create amazing synergies and get even deeper below. Will you finish your quest? I give it an 8 out of 10. Frog Detective 2: The Case of the Invisible Wizard. Developed by Grace Bruxner and Thomas Boker, take on the mystery of the destroyed parade for the new resident of the Warlock Woods. Interrogate suspects, find clues, and fill out your notebook. Will you solve the case? I give it an 8 out of 10. Fathom Petula. Developed by Bryce Butcher, go through this surreal world in search of different liquids to feed to the world plant. Explore the many different areas, solving puzzles to try to gather new tools. Will you get all the endings? I give it an 8 out of 10. 10 Million. Developed by 88 Games, travel through a dungeon, matching tiles to try to gain your freedom. Use resources gathered while fighting to help increase your skills. Will you make it to the end? I give it an 8 out of 10. 2D and Top D. Developed by Diadribi, play as two people trapped in different planes of existence trying to return to their homeworlds. Shift between perspectives and use teamwork to reach the portals to the next areas. I give it an 8 out of 10. The White Door. Developed by Rusty Lake, play as Robert, who's in a mental health facility after an incident. Go through your day-to-day routine while getting flashbacks of what happened before the accident. I give it an 8 out of 10. Cookie Clicker. Please don't touch anything 3D. Developed by Four Quarters, find yourself in front of a mysterious machine just begging to be explored. Press everything in order to solve the many different puzzles and get all the endings. I give it an 8 out of 10. Battle Block Theater. Developed by the Behemoth, play as one of the many prisoners who finds themselves in a play of death after crash landing on an island of cats. Go through each scene collecting gems and trying to survive to rescue your friends. I give it an 8 out of 10. An airport for aliens currently run by dogs. Developed by Strange Scaffold, play as one of the last humans in the universe traveling the galaxy to meet up with his fiancée. Go from airport to airport interacting with the many different dogs and trying to catch your flights on time. I give it an 8 out of 10. Replica. Developed by Somi, play as Tom as he finds himself locked up by an authoritative government with someone else's phone. Go through the phone gathering information on its user in an attempt to gain your own freedom. I give it an 8 out of 10. Crypt of the Necrodancer. Developed by Brace Yourself Games, play as Cadence, who must battle through a musical dungeon to the beat of her missing heart. Go from floor to floor, gathering tools to help regain what was stolen from you. I give it an 8 out of 10. Clawfish. Developed by David Zarnowski, travel to an old train station by the waterfront to catch and release fish. Get tokens, play the claw machines, and have a relaxing time. I give it an 8 out of 10. Beat Saber. Developed by Beat Games, slice along to many amazing songs trying to destroy all the boxes. Test your skills and see if you can keep up. I give it an 8 out of 10. Castle Crashers. Developed by the Behemoth, play as a knight setting out to defeat an evil mage to save the kingdom. Use weapons, magic, and many other tools to help bring peace to the land. I give it a 8 out of 10. Deepest Depth. Developed by Blomco, dive down a deep cave to try and uncover the secrets hidden below. Explore the interesting flora and fauna that resides in this new world. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Pedestrian. Developed by Skookum Arts, play as a pedestrian signal traveling from sign to sign across the city. Rearrange how the rooms connect to be able to make it to the next areas. I give it an 8 out of 10. Nepenthe. Developed by Yitz, play as a bald human who sets out to save the world from a catastrophe. Explore the land, fighting monsters and helping people along the way on this surreal adventure. I give it an 8 out of 10. Cube Escape Collection. Developed by Rusty Lake, play through 9 different puzzle games as you learn the story of these strange cubes. Uncover the secrets of Rusty Lake as the pieces start to fall into place. I give it an 8 out of 10. Out There Somewhere. Developed by Mini-Boss, play as Yuri, an astronaut who crashed landed on a strange planet while fighting Gregory. Use your teleportation gun to explore the land in search of a power source to be able to take off again. I give it an 8 out of 10. Everybody Wham Wham. Developed by Bonavon, play as a contestant in the Wham Wham the Snowman Man Snowman Building Festival. Try to build the best snowman and get to spend time with the lovely people there as well. I give it an 8 out of 10. Job Simulator. Developed by Alchemy Labs, play as a human in 2050, going through a museum of jobs from before robots ran everything. Go to different careers and learn what it was really like to work there by performing different tasks. I give it an 8 out of 10. Hot Lava. Developed by Clay Entertainment, play as a kid pretending the floor is lava and that they are their favorite action figure. Parkour through different obstacle courses while trying to get the best time. I give it an 8 out of 10. Loop Hero. Developed by Four Quarters, play as an adventurer caught in a time loop after a lich cursed the world. Travel through the loop, fighting enemies and getting loot in an attempt to break the cycle. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Room 3. Developed by Fireproof Games, find yourself trapped in a mysterious mansion after hunting down the craftsman. Solve many different puzzles using your eyepiece to try to uncover the secret of Null. I give it an 8 out of 10. Cruelty Squad. Developed by Consumer Soft Products, play as a mercenary eliminating everyone the boss assigns and those that get in the way. Gather new weapons and augmentations to better survive in this fever dream world. I give it an 8 out of 10. Iron Lung. Developed by David Zymanski, play as a prisoner traveling through a sea of blood trying to gain their freedom. Navigate the depths, gathering photos and avoiding whatever lurks beneath. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Developed by Crows, return as Stanley as he sets out on new adventures working with and against the narrator. Experience new endings and features along with all the original content you know and love. I give it an 8 out of 10. Risk of Rain. Developed by Hope Who Games, play as a survivor who crash-landed on a mysterious planet as they search for a way out. Travel to many different parts of the world fighting monsters while collecting powerful tools. I give it an 8 out of 10. Samsara Room. Developed by Rusty Lake, find yourself trapped in a strange room with no exits in sight. Solve puzzles while changing yourself and the room to try to reach enlightenment. I give it an 8 out of 10. Celeste. Developed by Extremely OK Games, play as Madeline as she climbs Mount Celeste to find herself and challenge her fears. Scale up the mountain, collecting strawberries and making interesting friends along the way. I give it a 10 out of 10. Deepest Sword. Developed by Cosmic Adventure Squad, play as a little hero setting off to rescue their cat from a powerful dragon with nothing but their sword. Traverse the ever-growing dungeon as you get longer and longer swords to be able to stab the beast in the heart. I give it an 8 out of 10. Ring Ring. Developed by Heloquo, find yourself with a strange phone that houses the souls of those who used it before you. Dial different numbers, listening to haunting tales as you try to figure out how to escape from its clutches. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Closing Shift. Developed by Chillo's Arts, work the night shift at a coffee shop while dealing with the interesting patrons of the store. Help customers with their orders and make sure to lock up for the night to stay safe. I give it an 8 out of 10. Hotline Miami 2. Wrong number. Developed by Denton Games, play as those affected by Jacket's crusade and those who were inspired to follow in his footsteps. Go from place to place, leaving nothing in your wake as you find extreme and creative ways to eliminate everything. I give it an 8 out of 10. Super Meat Boy. Developed by Team Meat, play as Meat Boy as he sets out to save Bandage Girl from the evil Dr. Fetus. Parkour through many different worlds, avoiding saws and everything else trying to end you. I give it an 8 out of 10.